Erin Leonard is here with us, a psychotherapist, to talk about the 4 signs to look for if your child is being bullied. This is a big topic, especially on school buses, and then when you get to school, and as we were talking, really at every age. Even my daughter's 5, she's in kindergarten, and I hear about certain things. What do we need to pay attention to?
Well, there are 4 signs that parents can look for. The first one is school avoidance. So a child who suddenly becomes afraid to go to school or anxious before school starts, or doesn't want to go to school, that's a big sign. The second sign is that your child is losing interest in activities that they normally love, so they're more isolated and withdrawn. Another big sign is if a parent hears their child saying something very self-loathing, like, I hate myself, or I'm a loser, or I can't do anything right, that's a big indicator. And another big indicator is loss of sleep. So they either have trouble falling asleep, or they have trouble staying asleep, and they need a lot of extra comfort during the night. You
also mentioned, too, those are 4 things to look for, but you also say important considerations, that bullies can be a little sneaky at times.
Absolutely. So, you kind of picture bullies as overt and they pick on everyone, but that's not the case these days. And that's why kids have a lot of trouble coming forward. So a lot of kids won't kind of tell their parent that they're being bullied, because bullies these days go to great lengths to make a good impression in front of adults. And it's behind closed doors that they sort of do their bullying behavior. So social media, or excluding a child, or gossiping about one particular child. And so it's really hard for a child to believe that they are going to be believed, because the bully may be very well regarded at school. And so it's really a tricky situation, and it's very delicate, because if you come forward too quickly, it's sort of a he said, she said, because bullies often feel like they're entitled to bully, and that's why they bully.
And isn't the kid maybe sometimes feeling, I don't want to tattle? I don't want to tell, it's fine, I'll handle it.
Yes, and they instinctively are worried that it might get worse, because they have an idea that the bully probably isn't very accountable and won't own up to it or take responsibility.
Well, you also mentioned that the bullies a lot of times play the victim when they're confronted with something like this.
Yes, so it's very common that they will deny it and then sort of distort what happened to place the blame on the actual victim. That's very common.
What do we do as parents? Do we come out and talk about it? I always ask my daughter, how was your day? What happened? Are there any specific things that we can do to help maybe start that conversation?
Absolutely. It's a sensitive subject for a child, because they're normally pretty embarrassed. It's humiliating. So the parent just wants to be really gentle and really supportive. And say things like, is there anything wrong? You don't seem like yourself, honey. And hopefully the child will then tell the parent that something's going on. And when that happens, the parent really needs to empathize with the child, really help the child with those feelings. That's really hard, that really hurts, that's really tough. And then the parent needs to be very thoughtful and strategic about how they bring this to the attention of a teacher or a principal, because they don't want the child to get it worse when they go back. So really trying to capture, either texts or social media things, that really capturing something concrete that they can bring to the school.
Great stuff to really keep in mind for parents. Dr. Erin Leonard, thank you so much for being here. I know you're sticking around. Scott and Drew coming up. She's also talking about how to ease kids' fears when it comes to Halloween. Halloween a lot of times seems like fun and games, but it can be a little scary for some kiddos out there. So we're going to get a few tips as well coming up.